reality we have to accept it.
I think dictatorship is the human norm.
Mm-hmm. Say it again.
Dictatorship is the human norm.
You think?
It is.
Doesn't mean it's okay, right?
Sure, but it's the human norm. Like that's what human beings like literally had since the beginning of time.
Yeah, but one doesn't just submit to it.
Yeah, but
Because
often you just replace one dictator for another. That's it. That's all that happens. It
usually,
just might be a
yeah,
dictator you like.
right. That is why, like, I think beneficent, uh, a merciful dictator also exists. That can very much like replace a tyrannical, a freaking, inhumane dictator. This
I
too is
agree.
within us.
I agree. But it never lasts forever. At no point in human history does that last.
Nothing lasts forever. Oh,
But I think
November rain.
there needs to be some understanding that if you have a series of bad dictators who are all citizens from the country, then maybe there's something with the country that's causing you guys to bring up that.
Hey, Nargis.
Hey, kindness.
I just came here because you were here, and I was also wondering why are you here?
Why not? We're having a heated debate. I mean, I feel bad like calling out Hamza like that because I also like feel that Iran in a way like has been isolated for so long. There has been it has been oppressed in quite a few ways, right? Especially in the form of sanctions. Like I feel for all that. Don't get me wrong. Like I've been through it all in gray, in shades of gray. But that I think that he cannot see through the gray is what I was calling out. He's intelligent enough to see through it. And eventually, I mean, we did come to an understanding that the internal states of a country are as much, important as its external strength. It being an underdog is a matter of pride. Like, don't get me wrong, deep inside, like, as much as we may dislike the governmental body, we still find it to be a matter of, great pride that we alone can stand and have been self-sufficient for 50 bloody years, right? And made the best of the worst of situations. And this survival mechanism has always existed amongst the Persians. Probably, the relentless freaking empire system that continued on and on over ages.
Nargis, I have a question. Are you those
What's up?
ones who are like, I'm impatient?
No, I'm not.
I'm driving missing.
No, man, I don't fit anywhere. And neither fit. I am PhD. I love the monarchy. I want king to come back. No, I don't fit there. I don't fit on the other side either. Like I'm seeing it as is. I'm calling it out as is. So, yeah, people like us don't fit in it.
By the way, I have a really big crush on you. Like, I literally love you in all the rooms you go into. You just own them.
Thank you, you too. You create a lot of like harmony and peace, I think, in rooms you go to. And there's a lot of unrest on Clubhouse, to be fair. If people just fight constantly amongst each other.
What is happening in the spiritual appreciation session?
No, I literally annoy everybody in the rooms I go into. You know how many Salafis I've upset? Yeah.
Why?
Too many. Like, and I've been cussing them out. Like, I'm not doing this whole fake, my brother, sister, please, let's look and reason. I'm like, bro, go sleep with your wife. Like, don't take out your frustration out here.
That's so quiet. What happened? Can we stop talking about politics?
Yeah, but anyway.
What do you want to discuss?
Can we go back to the really bad arguments that Muslims have against Christians? I think that's funnier. That's better. Because then talking about the Quran, it always gets really weird. Plus, I'm not supposed to be talking about the Quran. You guys making me go back on my word.
Wow, well, that's but
No one's making you do it.
just do it a little bit. No one made you.
No one's forcing.
No, but I like what I'm doing. I like how I'm just not talking
It's
about.
different. It's not the same.
Yeah, it's gonna change. It's gonna change a little bit.
Dude, this defrag has been going. Now defrags will take a really long time. Let's just wait. Let's be patient. And when you do a full defrag on a hard drive that big,
Hey, listen. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Bart,
No, I'm weeding myself, but it's not like a soft application like the alcohol.
You
No,
weed
we don't have to do
yourself.
that. It's just there's no weeding
You
yourself.
haven't
Just
made
stop.
yourself. You haven't even gone to rehab yet. Like,
I'm still working my way through the application.
relapses.
Daniel said hard.
It's very hard. Been fun. What other arguments do they give? I don't know. I just went over the basic ones.
Well, the man god is one, right? So this is
The
also
man
like
god.
common. Yeah, it's also common to, I think, the Jews would bring it up. So, but more so, I think the Islamic apologetics would bring that up. The 3 in 1 quantitatively, that is also what is brought up.
Does 1
What
plus
are
1 plus 1 equal 1?
Yeah, equal on that one.
But it's supposed to be 1 times 1
One
times.
times.
Oh, I just asked, how many numbers is the number 3? And there's just silence.
Yeah, Beatles are just thinking about.
Yeah, those people don't know how to count. Because it's 1 person plus 1 person plus 1 person equals 3 persons, which is exactly what Christians affirm. What they're trying to say is 1 person plus 1 person plus 1 person equals 1 being, which is not how math works, because it's supposed to be numerically identical.
Maybe that's it. They never took like in physics where they have to convert units all the time, and they didn't really realize that like you can't add meters per second 3 times and end up getting like kilometers per hour. So they have to actually like convert the thing.
I wonder
The
if this
problem is the 3 persons, right?
one
That's
one
what-
foot plus 1 foot plus 1 foot equals 1 yard. How does that work? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. 3 feet is 1 yard, isn't it?
Right, so they do understand how 1 thing plus 1 thing plus 1 thing can equal 1 thing.
However, this 3 distinct persons, is that qualitative, quantitative? If it is quantitative, is it 3
It's
minds?
like, oh
Is it 1
god.
mind?
What
If
have I
it's 3
done?
minds, there's 3 gods. If it's 1
Crazy.
mind,
I'm sure his wife's like, oh god, what have I done?
I mean, these are some problems too, perhaps, that either is resolved within the Trinity or needs resolution.
When they were doing that stuff over 1,000 years ago, they didn't use mind. They used will.
But,
And
Will-
they thought
will-
that God did only have 1 will.
Will and intellect.
Will and intellect, that's right.
yeah, so
They
mind
thought that all
mind
of them
would
had the
be
same
it.
intellect.
So what is, it's like the mind itself.
This is
Well-
what go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, like,
Oh, it's
I don't like these two things exactly the same, although there's probably
Roger Rabbit.
Will is like, well,
Yeah, put the view up at the top. I think this is what they say a lot because of how they have their physics. So this says that it's 1 person, and then these 3 different expressions through the 1 person. So this view right here is really what they're saying.
Country music doing that type of shit.
Why did this view
Just-
become heretical?
Just-
It's not a bad view at all.
Country
It's
music,
a good view.
bro.
I think
no
it's
way.
because it's being represented as modalism. Because so the problem with that, right? That in looking this up, and then, once you say God is 1 person, That's where you're.
300. That's way too.
If you don't say he's one person, then you're not. Then you're not.
220. Come on, that's way too much too. I think I'm good.
If he's one person,
Nah, 100. That's
then that puts you in the modalist position.
50. 50 I can do. Come, get around. How much? If you're a small content creator, use this.
This is what the scriptures say. We're not making it up by logical deduction or some shit. Like, yeah.
Lord, have you forsaken me? Eli,
Dude, look at the picture. Everything.
Yeah, read the end of Psalms 22. We were going over this yesterday. You have to go to the end.
I mean, I'm fine with being weird, but you got to just accept that it's fine.
Just something like that always got two right hands. Like, what? There's not like any scripture where there's not something weird that doesn't fit perfect.
Checking to see if
But the Quran doesn't
Can
talk
y'all
about
please
children.
pretend I'm famous?
Don't buy another charger until you see this. Are you sick of not paying?
I think that whether the Quran specifically in this is that they're part of their theology does.
Yeah, a particular smaller group within Islam does hold to that freaking anthropomorphic idea of God. But Sabellianism, like the one that Bath put up, would be very much in line with like the monotheism that Islam and Judaism teaches, right? Because he sort of eliminated and he's saying
Look at my heretical picture.
He's saying that there's only one distinct reality in the Godhead.
You see the three faces?
Yeah, that's
That's the fucking little William.
that is where the problem lies.
Well, there's only one head now. That's
It is one head.
That's one head, not three heads.
How many times?
It's not allowed anymore. For a while, they've been just like, we can't represent Christ as anymore. This is like.
Well, it was a description of what people are saying, and I think it's genius because
It looked too much like modalism, though.
that's what I'm saying. They're painting the picture.
What's wrong with modalism again? Like, why is it a
One person
It's wrong with
says because it's one person. When you apply one person, then you're a modalist.
It's wrong because it doesn't go with scripture.
No. I didn't say it's wrong because it belongs to. It's the way. It's a metaphysical model of. It's just another way to say Trinity or
And it's a Trinity model.
It is.
It just doesn't work with the scripture. Because you're like,
Exactly my point. It doesn't go with the scripture. That's what I'm asking.
Well, because supposedly the persons
Well,
are
it
all
doesn't go with.
exist simultaneously, not just with one at a time.
And that's what the scripture says no to.
Modalism is
Yeah.
our natural intuition says this, but then when you apply it to the story, it doesn't work because you're saying the Father is the Son, so it
The problem
doesn't
is
work.
the way you're reading the story.
No, it doesn't work. Christ literally says he was sent by the Father. How's that
Written in
possible?
so many languages. What are you talking about? It's the way it's being understood. They went over this. They could have
What's wrong
repeated
with
these things
the
later
monarchical
on.
model? Again, what's wrong with the monarchical model of the Trinity? Like,
I think of it more as like the equivalent of like a cubist painting, right? A cubist painting takes something three-dimensional and flattens it into two-dimensional space, right? So if you take something that's four-dimensional, like it goes out, but it's other dimensional and flatten it into three-dimensional space, you're only going to be able to see one aspect of it, but that doesn't mean that all the rest of it isn't there.
they just want to see it one way. That's why. And same with like other scriptures too, the way they're read. So it's compromised for like logic and rational.
We gotta say
That's
one
something.
way, because otherwise people will get the wrong idea.
Yeah, but it's your mind-dependent reality that is perceiving it in such a way
What
that
steps
the
are being
majority
taken to reduce
put
gun
into that
violence and
collective efforts, right?
Why is
What
it
kind
that
of
when we write things, Nargis, right, when we write them for someone else to read, it's different than you explaining it, right? But when you write it and you can manicure it, it has like this deeper meaning, like the words are being put together because they are being read.
Yeah.
Versus something being preached. That makes sense?
Yeah.
It always has a different feel.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us start to think like because we could do the speech to talk, that we think that's how people write, but they don't write like that.
So is the limitation in the writing, or the limitation is in
Of how it's being understood.
Yeah.
So when you're writing, you're kind of like you're playing it out of the person reading it. I think, in a sense. But not every writer, you know what I mean? Like some writers are speaking from within. Like it's a, you know, I'm not saying that's just one style, but it kind of.
The Gnostic Catholic Church, the Order of the Knights of the Holy the Order of the Knights of St. John, the Order of the Knights of the Mountain, the Order of the Knights of the Holy Sepulchre, the Hidden Church of the Holy Grail, the Hermetic Brotherhood of Light, the Holy Order of Rose Critics of Hidden, the Order of the Holy Royal Arch and Cloak, the Ancient and Tenestic Rites of Freemasonry, the Rites of the Buddhists, the Rites of Israel, ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Masonry, the Swedish body and earth of Masonry, the Order of the Martinists, the Order of the Sapphire, and many other orders of equal merit, if of less fame. Mine is the head of the hawk, Abrahadabra, and ends.
6. Bear the rose and cross of life and light.
Abrahadabra,
Giving the sign that each Abrahadabra.
remaining in the sign. The invocation concludes.
Therefore I say unto thee, come thou forth and dwell in me, so that every spirit, whether of the firmament, or of the ether, or of the earth, or under the earth, on dry land, or in the water, or whirling air, or of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God the Vast One, might be thee.
Abrahadabra, the adoration, impromptu. Close by banishing.
I think this was omitted at W's order. the charioteer of the east, Lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. brother shall seek constantly to give pleasure to all brethren with whom he is acquainted, whether by entertainment or conversation, or in any other manner that may suggest itself. It will frequently and naturally arise that love itself springs up between members of the order, for that they have so many and sacred interests in common. Such love is peculiarly holy and is to be encouraged. All children of brethren are to be considered as children of the whole order, and to be protected and aided in every way by its members, severally, as by its organization collectively. No distinction is to be made with regard to the conditions surrounding the birth of any child. 15. There is an especially sacred duty which every brother should fulfill with regard to all children, those born without the order included. This duty is to instruct them in the law of the Lima, to teach them independence and freedom of thought and character, and to warn them that servility and cowardice are the most deadly diseases of the human soul.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is the tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Borrows $1.3 billion to give to Cronny-Thon. Profits the C2U is a mafia propaganda. Organization authority is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Open the books, transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the scam. Reparations for black slaves is a scam. It's a black tax socialist, a taxologist. All taxation is theft, affordability is a scam. Abortion Greyhound buses are murder for profit. Open the books, transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the scam. My object all sublime, I keep it in my mind. A needle made of light, threading through the night. I mark the hidden seam, I sharpen up the dream. The case is cold but clear, I waited long enough here. So let it come around, let the gavel kiss the ground. I want the scales to sing on the edge of everything, to make the punishment fit the crime. Fit the crime. To make the punishment fit the crime. Fit the You wore the borrowed face, you left no kind of grace. But every lie you spun turns back beneath the sun. I kept the final clue, like a blade inside my shoe. Now every step you take feels like the earth might break. So let it come around, let the gavel kiss the ground. I want the scales to sing on the edge of everything, to make the punishment fit the crime. And if I'm wrong, but I have held on long to the shape of what was lost, to the price, to the cost, to make the punishment fit the got dreams, sign your name on the diary like it's free, free, free. We wake up to letters with the red ink screams. Every promise on paper feels cheap to me. Brandon Johnson is attached. They're the ones who pay it back. All the bills and all the spend. Cash goes out with locked in. Open up the books right now. Stolen lovers like my line. Transparency on every track. Brandon Johnson is attached. You call it for the people, but the doors stay closed. Same names on the contracts, every story we're told. You preach about affordable, then raise the toll. Whole city in a chokehold, just to feed your own. We're tired of slogans on a pretty blue sign. Want a public spending tracker in real time. Not another photo op on our dime. We're done with the fiction, this is our line. Brandon Johnson is attacked. We're the ones who pay it back. All the bills and all the spend. Cash goes out, we're locked in. Open up the books right now. Stolen numbers, line by line. Transparency on every track. Brandon Johnson is attacked. We want receipts. Every cent, every check, every beat. Turn the lights to the ceilings, to the cracks, to the shadows. Pull back, pull back. Brandon Johnson is back. We're the ones who pay it back. All the bills and all the spend. Cash goes out, we're locked in. Open up the books right now. Stolen lovers, line by line. Put the truth on the giant screen till the whole house is smashed. Brandon Johnson is attacked. Brandon Johnson is attacked. Mine is the head of the man, and my insight is keen as the hawks. By my head I invoke thee.
Hey, I am the only begotten child of my father and mother. My father is dead. My mother bore me with labor and pain and fear. By my body I invoke thee.
About me shine the diamonds of radiance, white and pure. By the brightness I invoke thee.
Mine is the red triangle reverse, the sign given of none save it be of thee. O Lord, by the Lamb and I invoke thee.
3, mine is the garment of white, sewn with gold, the flashing obey that I wear. By my robe I invoke thee.
Mine is the sign of Apophis and Typhon, by the sign I invoke thee.
4 is the turban of white and gold, and mine the blue vigor of the intimate air. By my crown I invoke thee. My finger the sword I invoke thee. The voice of the fight.
The voice of the fight.
The voice of the six.
11 other voices, Abrahadabra.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Almost wanted $3 billion to get the crony doctors. The C2 is a mafia propaganda. Organization of portability is a scam. Farming Johnson is a
Hey, transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon, Johnson is a tax. Brandon, Johnson is a scam. Hey, transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon, Johnson is a tax. Brandon, Johnson is a scam.
reparations for black slaves is a scam. It's a black tax. Socialists are taxologists. All taxation is theft. Affordability is a scam.
Transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon, Johnson is a tax. Brandon, Johnson is a scam. Transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon, Johnson is a tax. Brandon, Johnson is a scam.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Morals want $3 million against a criminal. CTU is a mafia propaganda organization. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Holding up for transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon Johnson is the state. Brandon Johnson is the scam. Revelation from black slaves is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is the tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Hell, one free Brandon Johnson criminal. CTU is a mafia propaganda organization. Criminality is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Holding up for transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon Johnson is the scam. Brandon Johnson is the scam.
will give the sign of Apophis.
The only begotten child of Osiris, thy father, and Isis, thy mother, he that was slain, she that bore thee in her womb, flying from the terror of the water. Nose upward is a flashing white, whiter than the forehead of the morning. For thou hast formulated thy father, and made fertile thy father. Those garments of the golden glory, with the azure bars of sky. Who didst avenge the horror of death, thou the slayer of Typhon? Thou, who didst lift thine arms, and the dragons of death were as dust. Thou, who didst raise thine head, and the crocodile of Nile was abased before thee. Those menace hideth the universe with night, the impermeable gloom. Who travellest in the boat of Ra, abiding in the hell of the dead, boat and of the thou, who bearest the one of double power. Thou about whose presence is shed the darkness of light, the unfathomable glory of the outmost ether, the untravelled, the unthinkable immensity of space. Thou contemplest all the 13 earths in one darkling sphere of fire. Thou who bearest the rose and cross of life and light.
The Showstone, a crystal which Dee alleged to have been brought to him by angels, was then placed upon this table, and the principal result of the ceremonial scrying of Sir Edward Kelly is the obtaining of the following diagrams, plates, viewing.
He symbolized the fourth dimensional universe in 2 dimensions as a square.
Surrounded by 30 concentric circles, whose radii increased in a geometrical proportion. The sides of the square are the 4 great watchtowers,
which are attributed to
there is also a black cross central to file is called Linea Fili. The seventh line is called Linea Spiritus Sancti. This great cross divides the tablet into 4 lesser tablets. The left hand top corner being air of air. The right hand top corner, water of air. The left hand bottom corner, earth of air. The remaining corner, fire of air. Each of these lesser tablets contains a Calvary cross of 10 squares, which governs it. Plates V, VI, and VII are similar for the other element. This is the way in which the names are drawn from the great tablets.
Next, the following text.
Like longer than. Is it the first time she brought up kids in this conflict? No. Why not?
Emerald talks about kids every. Are you okay, Rock?
White Rock. I'm okay. Invite me to White Rock.
Excuse me?
I'm confused. White Rock. I'm talking to White Rock. You invite me in?
Wait a minute. So you have never heard her talk about Palestinian children?
No.
Okay, so then you're a fucking idiot. So you're either a pathological. I'll do what I want. You're either a liar, or this is an issue with exposure. Maybe you haven't been in rooms with her. Maybe you don't have any experiences with her. Yeah, but it's not rhetorical. So when you ask a question and then you laugh at the end of it, it takes on a different flavor, right? It's not really a question that you're asking. You're making an assumption, right?
No, I was asking a question, a general question. So don't disrespect me, please.
Okay, we can, Sapien, what do you think? Booty clapper, what do you think?
I almost wanted to speak.
I am just sitting back and just listening.
Alright, keep clapping then. Taco, have you ever heard Amrose defend or talk about Palestinian children?
Yes,
and what they're going through?
Yes, I have, but I'll
Okay.
leave it at that because I don't want to, I'm not in the position to, I don't want to fight other people's battles for them. She's very capable to defend herself.
Yeah, but you know how Amir is, so.
No, well,
Hey, you didn't promise me something, hey.
What do you mean?
You didn't make a date with me, hey.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that.
Almost is hitting on you. He asked you if you want to go.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that you can run a very dictatorship. You know what I'm saying?
Dictatorship.
And the truth is, if I had a badge, who knows what I would do, right? But I'm just saying.
You have a problem with this thing?
I'm telling you what my problem is. If I want to leave, I'll leave. But I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why Amrose coming up here might be a mission of futility.
I'm not telling you why I think that.
If she wants to come up, she can raise her hand and come up.
Right, but you said you won't mute her or boot her to the extent that she tells the truth.
If she tells the truth, then we can agree.
Right,
If she doesn't tell the truth, then yeah, I'll have to mute her.
But you guys fundamentally disagree on the series of events, so you.
I don't agree our position, okay? Just because she agrees that it's a genocide and she has done some things for the Palestinians, okay? You know, much credit goes to you. Shout out to you.
Maybe dictator.
But at the same time, you know, when it comes down to, you know, Palestinians getting their freedom and if they conquer the fucking land, you know, she wants to bring up some stupid fucking arguments.
Yo, Amor said something about a pink taco.
You're not ashamed of yourself, you dictator.
No, he's not.
You're not ashamed of
Yes,
yourself.
coexistence.
He's not.
Coexistence.
Guys,
You want to tell me, Amir, dictators, that you're attacking Ambrose? Did I hear good?
Hello?
Amor,
I did not attack Ambrose. Ambrose attacked Fayyad yesterday.